Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast. My name is Fernando Cardenas, aka International XB, and I'm your host. This is episode number 10, and I'm hyped today. I'm hyped because I got my brother Bocafloja in the house. You know what I mean? This brother is of Afro-indigenous descent, and he's a hip-hop pioneer. He has performed extensively for over 20 years and in more than 35 different countries. He does literature, photography, filmmaking. Bocafloja has been featured in PBS, NPR, Afropunk, and OK Player, just to name a few. And he was born in Mexico City, and he currently lives in Georgia, but he's actually joining us from Cairo right now, Egypt. From Quilombo Arte, Sociedad Cimarrona. Bocafloja, welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast, my brother. How you doing?
Thank you, brother. All good. I'm actually on a little vacation.
Man, that's amazing, man. I want to thank you, man, for that, for taking the time to rock with us for a little bit, man, because you're all the way out in Cairo right now, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. No, my pleasure. It's all love, man. We're family.
That's dope, man. I appreciate you, brother. So listen, let's start by, I wanted you to tell me a little bit about, your relationship with basketball, man, because I see you on Instagram. You got a little jumper. So I know you got a little basketball in you, man. So tell me a little bit about basketball, man. What's up with you and the game?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've always been a fan of basketball in general since I was very young.
No doubt.
And also, I started playing like when I was 13.
Okay.
And I continued playing until my college years. So I played college in Mexico City for like the first year and a half.
Oh, that's dope.
And then I just transitioned more into my music and other artistic forms. But I've always been a fan of basketball, and till today, I play with my son. I'm
no doubt.
More for like entertainment.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Did you play like when you were in high school before college? You were in Mexico, or were you in the States?
Yeah, no, I was in Mexico. I was in Mexico all the time, and I was playing. That was like my basketball prime. I guess like the last year of high school, I was like really into it, like practicing like 3 times a day. I was really into it.
Yeah, no doubt. That's dope, man. That's amazing. All right, okay, man. So listen, so you do a lot, man. You do, filmmaking, music, photography, literature. So how do you take all that really and connect it, or how does that fit into, the hip hop culture, or how do you bring it all together, or not? I don't know, but how do you bring all that together? And also, like a second part of the question, how has hip hop, the culture, shaped you as a person and as an artist as well?
Yeah, I guess hip hop lives in me. It's part of my essence as a human being. It's part of my subjectivity in several aspects. So everything I do artistically, somehow, some way, is deeply impacted and inspired and connected by hip hop as a language, as a lifestyle, as a knowledge process. So I was very young when I started to connect with hip hop culture as well. So the more I get old, and I start producing in different artistic manifestations, I think that hip hop still, like,
of course,
present one way or the other, and I guess like all my artistic production is connected in one way or the other, so hip hop is there.
Yeah, and you could tell, really, truthfully, that's why I asked you, because I could tell, when I watch the documentaries, as a hip hopper myself, I could tell, that the culture is there, you know what I mean? So that's
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Through whatever it is. Yeah, no doubt, man. So through whatever it is that you do, really, you could tell, you could feel the culture, and that's what I really, that's why I really, one of the reasons why I really enjoy your art, man, and what you do, because as a hip hopper, I feel the culture. So I just think that's really dope, man. So you touch a lot on the African diaspora in Latin America, you know, and
Yeah.
that's a subject that's real dear to my heart, you know what I mean? Because myself, as being part of that diaspora, as an Afro-Cuban,
Yeah.
it's always a very interesting subject. It's a very interesting
Yeah.
subject, and we've talked about this a little bit privately, but I wanted to touch on a couple of things, because a lot of I wanted to touch a little bit on Latinidad, and just how do you feel? There are a lot of brothers and sisters in Latin America and even the Caribbean that that identify solely as Latinos, and they don't necessarily want anything to do with being Afro descendants, even when they are, and or African for that matter, So
Yeah.
I guess my question could be, why do you think that is? I know that's a long answer, but why do you think that is? And yeah, let's start with that, man.
Yeah, well, I think that is just a consequence of colonialism and the impact uh, in people's psyche. It's not easy to deal with coloniality on an everyday basis, and according to the way colonialism works in terms of the social, political, and the economic. Um, Black and indigenous communities all over the continent
Mhm.
are historically impoverished, oppressed. So it is, in some cases, people unfortunately, are trying to escape from that reality as much as
Absolutely.
possible, because at a social level, it is not. It's almost like an attempt to improve their social conditions and so on. But I mean,
Absolutely.
it's very damaging, and it's very sad just to see that. But
Yeah.
that's the reality of colonialism in the American continent.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And to this day, we live it. Like I could see, I
Yeah.
still see the little kids, they're still living it. There's still the old African insults, and like the darker you are, the more you get picked on, and you get,
Yeah.
and they roast you and all that. And so that is one of the reasons why people want to get away from their Africanness, as much as possible, just to fit in with the, with the society, But I want to talk about this because, I had the opportunity to check out, one of your documentaries, Nana Dijo.
Yeah.
Obviously, I
Yeah.
saw it with you, man, when you presented it in Cuba. That was really dope, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, thank you.
but I watched it again, man, because it's online. So I definitely recommend it to the
Yeah.
listeners, man. If you get time, check it out. Bocafloja, Nana Dijo. It's a documentary. It's on YouTube. So definitely check that out. But there's a part in the documentary, man, where there's a little girl, man, the cutest little girl, and she's sitting next to her grandmother,
Yeah.
and her grandmother is a person that is clearly Black, to me at least. She's clearly, of African
Yeah. Yeah.
descent. And
Yeah.
and this little girl tells her grandma, you have some, there's some Black people in your family, right? And she's like, no. She's like, well, yeah, maybe my grandmother, but not really. And that's
Yeah.
such
Yeah.
the perfect example, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell me a
Yeah,
little bit
no,
about that, man.
absolutely.
How was it? How was it shooting that? And how did you feel?
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the premises of the documentary was just that, like not trying to impose
Mhm, mhm.
a specific narrative or like specific agenda when it comes to my understanding of race politics. I didn't want to impose that, so I was letting the space itself kind of like create its own narrative, and people just manifesting their beliefs when it comes to those dynamics. And it was like quite shocking for a lot of us just to see how colonialism operates again, to the point that it doesn't make a lot of sense. As you
No doubt.
mentioned, like socially, that woman, of course, lives racism on an everyday basis, because socially, the social perception of her subjectivity is absolutely black. There's no way to detach that. But even then, like, she is like making an effort to
To
disconnect
get
from
over,
that
yep,
reality
yeah.
as much as possible,
Mhm.
and that's the very unfortunate power of colonialism
Yeah,
today, in the society that we live today.
absolutely, man. And that's why I feel like, it is very important. Like, I'm gonna refer to Cuba, because being Afro-Cuban, that's the most I have. But like, I feel like we're missing a lot of political education, and having things in context. A lot of brothers that speak up against, a lot of brothers and sisters that speak up against racism, for example, in Cuba, a lot of times, that they're misled a lot of times when they leave the country, when they go to the United States or other places, because they don't necessarily have the political education, right? So they're a lot of times they're protesting against, say, their government in Cuba, for example, which they have problems with being a black person in Cuba, and when they come to the United States, I see them using words like, I'm finally in a free country, and things like that, and they're totally disconnected from the reality, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's the anti-Africanness that we live throughout America, primarily Latin America, but also goes to North America, is something um, that's everywhere. But I feel like one of the things that could help us, get back to really identify as people of African descent would be that political education. What do you think? What do you think about that? And how do you think we could go about that, man?
No, I mean, I agree. I think the ultimate goal is to elaborate a political agenda based on new political imaginaries, in
Mhm.
which, of course, race and class are fundamental pillars when it comes to those processes, in order to,
Mhm.
trying to push anti-colonial agendas that obviously will have to deal with the issue of blackness,
Mhm.
as not blackness, not as a conflict, but blackness as a political possibility.
Yeah.
Blackness as a political movement,
Mhm.
blackness as a series of experiences
All right.
that are very different within one another, but could potentially uh, become cohesive when it comes to creating initiatives, political initiatives, for people. So I think in one way or the other, there are political movements focused on that in pretty much every country in
Yeah.
the Americas. But of course, the level of power imbalance,
Mhm.
the the the, the possibility of gaining certain power within the systemic structure depends on different conditions of each country. So there's a lot of work to do still,
No doubt. No doubt. I agree, man. I agree. Let me ask you this, man. Did you see recently, Francia Marquez over
Yeah,
in Colombia? That
yeah, of course.
she
Vice
became
President.
she became vice president, and I thought that was really dope. I had been following Francia Marquez for a while. I really admire her work, and the first speech I saw of Francia Marquez, I mean, it wasn't really a speech. She was just speaking. She was talking. I guess it was some kind of an interview, and it was before she was it was way before she was running for vice president, but she was speaking on how, you know, she was saying that she didn't identify as Latino, and that she thought that, you know, us identifying as Latino was accepting what the colonialists, you know, what the enslavers did
Yeah.
to us. You know, did you see that? Did you see that interview? She was
No, I
speaking
didn't.
on,
I didn't see.
it was really deep, and it was dope. And so she was saying that, and she was talking how, you know, we're Afro descendants, you know, that's what we are. And you know, we need to identify as such. I thought it was really dope. I saw her, you know, I followed her through her campaign a little bit, and I hope she keeps it all up, because tell you the truth, I don't trust politicians, man. So I'm afraid that, you know, now that she's actually a vice president, I'm scared that she'll drop some of her, you know, some of her ideas and convictions. What do you think? How do you feel about that, man?
Yeah. I do believe that it's all about the political agenda, and what's the political background,
Mhm.
and how rooted
Yeah.
those figures are actually, really connected with the community and so on. In her case, I mean, to me at least, it seems that um, it's going to be more like a center left type of government,
You think so?
but yeah, I think
Mm,
so. I think
mm,
it's going to be more like center left.
mm, mm.
And of course, probably that's not the most
Yeah.
revolutionary idea that we can imagine when it comes to social transformation. But
Right.
we have to remember that Colombia is coming from like the nastiest,
Absolutely.
far right,
Mm, mm, mm.
super like right wing governments
Yeah.
for
Horrible.
years and years. I think this is going to be like the first time like
Yeah.
something different is going to be in positions of power,
Yeah.
and when it comes to the black political organizations in Colombia, they've been working hard for several years, and
Absolutely.
especially like in the Pacific area. So it's not like she's not gonna have like a serious group of people holding her accountable when it comes to her practices.
Right.
But also, as you were saying, especially when we see the example of the United States, when we're thinking about the politics of representation, of having like
Yeah.
black political figures in positions of power, happens to be, also an illusion
Yeah.
of liberalism.
We,
Just
we
placing black figures is
in
not
high places.
necessarily
Yeah. Yeah.
solving anything.
I
We've
agree.
seen that with Obama. We've
I
seen
agree.
that
Yeah.
with Condoleezza Rice. We've seen that
Yeah.
with Colin Powell, and
Absolutely.
with a bunch of black celebrities that in a way are just embracing black capitalism, and at the end of the day, that's counterproductive towards our people.
I agree, man. 100%. I think that's an important point right there, you know, because a lot of people get caught up in representation. And I think it's important, but representation is important. But
Yeah.
I feel like more so to the youth. You know, that's how I feel. More so to the youth. But people like us, we need to, you know, at some point, we need to understand that, you know, representation is not necessarily, sometimes we get hit with the okey doke, as they say, you know, make us think that there's progress going on, you know, just because there's somebody that looks like us. And that's not necessarily what's happening. So
Yeah,
that,
honestly, in some cases can be counterproductive because
absolutely.
historically it seems to function as a pacifier. I
Hmm.
think that the best example is what happened with Obama.
Hmm.
Before Obama got elected, uh, the black community in the U.S. was showing uh, the urgency to go out and organize
Yeah,
politically,
yeah,
because it was just too much.
yeah.
And the fact that Obama was placed in a position of power made them believe in a way that the struggle was over. Like the fight for the fight was resolved. There's no more need for any type of organizing, because now we have one of us
No
in
doubt.
charge, and that was like a way to depoliticize the black community in the U.S.
Absolutely.
You know,
I
so
was out there when he got elected the first time. I was in college, man. And you know, I was young, so I was with it, man. I was 100%. I couldn't vote because I wasn't American, but if I could have, I would have voted Obama for sure. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I was younger and I was 100% with it. And like you said, like I saw older people, I saw all types of people crying, feeling like, yo, this is it, we made it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And um, unfortunately, you know, I think that's part of what we were talking about earlier. People not having necessarily the political education and understanding, but you know, I don't know personally, but I've heard that a lot of brothers and sisters are the same way right now. I'm not comparing Francia to Barack Obama, but I'm saying a lot of brothers and sisters are right now the same way about Francia. Like they really believe and trust in her and hope that, you know, things are gonna get better. But that's also because of what you're saying. Like they've been going through it. Brothers and sisters in Colombia have really been going through it over the years. So they
yeah,
feel
yeah, and you know, and you know, I think at least we know that, you know, her the background of Francia, if you compare it with the with Obama's background, are like
obviously nothing. Yeah,
million
you can't
years
compare.
apart, you know.
Francia
So
is
you know,
actually, yeah, Francia is actually an organizer and activist in the community with the people. And she well at the start of it all, she was never a politician. You know, she was actually, you know, in the trenches, you know, versus, you know,
yeah,
Barack is extremely different. But yeah, I just, you know, it's just an
we'll
interest.
see, we'll see. But I think, you know, we have to celebrate it for what it is right now, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you know, we'll see.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just have to be always critical, you know.
no
Doesn't
doubt.
matter
Yeah,
what, you know. Just keep that level of critical analysis like always sharp.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you for sure, man. And you know, I feel like, you know, one thing that's interesting, I feel like uh the more I travel and the more I study, the more I learn, I feel like, you know, our struggle is really connected. You know, I really see it. The more I learn, the more I read it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, at some point, that's what these systems want us to believe, that we're all so isolated, and that our cases are so apart from each other, so different, that we have nothing to do with one another. You know, from country to country or from continent to continent. And really, when we really start getting into it, we see the similarities of the struggle, and I think that's an important point. You know, and same way, same thing. You know, a little bit going back to political education and understanding. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no doubt, man. So listen, man. On a little lighter note, man.
Yeah.
I see you rocking your Warriors jersey over there, man.
Yeah, of course. I got
That,
my Juan Toscano Anderson jersey.
yes, sir. They got the chip, man. That you're a Warriors
Yeah,
fan. You're a Warriors fan.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Cause I lived in the Bay for like 1 year, so it was a time where when Curry was his rookie year, so it was easy to get like affordable tickets.
Mhm.
So I became more connected with the Warriors. But very recently, when Juan Toscano Anderson, this guy from Oakland, made it to the team, it became really special. You know,
Yeah,
he's a black Mexican brother,
no doubt.
and he's like 100% hard,
Yeah,
super good player.
yeah. He's a baller, man.
Also, you know, he has a beautiful story. You know, so I was following like every game. So
Yeah,
you know,
no
that's
doubt,
why I
man.
my JTA jersey tonight. You know?
For sure, man. Yeah, much respect to the brother Juan Toscano Anderson and to the whole Warriors, man. It was
Yeah,
amazing,
absolutely.
man. I loved watching them. You know, I'm a New York Knicks fan, man. So you know, I've been struggling, but but
You've been struggling for decades.
yeah, yeah, I've been struggling for decades, man. Last time I was happy was when we no, well, we had some good years with Melo. You know, we had some good years with Melo. But last time I was really happy was when we made the finals against the Spurs in
Yeah,
'99. I was a little boy. So
Yeah,
no doubt, man. But listen, I really enjoyed though. I really enjoyed the Warriors, man. Watching them grow and develop as a squad. You know, not just trading for a better player or whatever. Just you know, Steph and Draymond and Clay. I love how they've developed, man, and just them being able to bounce back from injury, you know, and winning another chip. I thought that was really special, and it was dope, man. You know, so salute to those guys, man.
I agree. It's a solid team,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I'm happy. I'm happy they got the championship. You know, they deserve. You know, I'm just concerned about next season. You know, I know right now it's just time to, you know, enjoy the championship and so on. But you know, a lot of players are leaving, so let's see how it is. You know, it's also like a business at the end of the day. You know,
Yeah,
the NBA is.
It is 100%.
Like that, but I think it was beautiful. It was beautiful, you know, to see them win.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was a shame that, you know, Gary Payton II is leaving, man, because he was a great addition to the squad, man. I love him.
He's a great player, man. He's like, yeah. So Gary Payton is out. Juan Toscano just with the Lakers.
Oh, he signed with the Lakers.
So
okay.
You know, yeah, he signed with the Lakers. He signed with Portland.
Yeah.
And Bielica, the European player, is going back to Italy. So you know, there's a few changes, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't follow that one.
And Otto Porter is going. Yeah, he's out too. So you know, it's gonna be quite challenging, but we'll see. You know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They might get some good pickups, man. A lot of things are gonna move around. You see KD now. You see the whole thing with KD.
Yeah.
He's moving. You know. So
yeah, I've been following. I don't know what's gonna happen, but he's asking to go to the Suns, right?
Yeah, he wants to go to the Suns or Miami. Those are his main picks.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. He left the Warriors, and it was not possible. So you know.
Yeah, man.
Let's see how it goes.
We'll see, man. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, man. Before we wrap it up, man, and I want to thank you for your time, brother. But before we wrap it up, man, I like to do this thing here at Vital Hoops. I like to do this thing. It's called I Recommend. You know, I feel like one of the things that we've gotten away from a little bit, you know, in our society is, unfortunately, is reading books, you know, and I feel like it's very important. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, just, you know, they'll listen to a 5 second, 10, 15-second clip on YouTube or on IG or something, and they feel like they know something, but they won't do the knowledge, you know what I mean? So I feel like we need to get back to reading a little bit. So what I like to do is recommend just a good book, man, a good book that you would like to recommend. You know, it doesn't have to be about, you know, necessarily have to be about what we spoke on, but just something that can help, you know, inspire and empower the people, man.
All right, so I wanna recommend a classic book that you know, I think everybody should have it in hand, and for those that haven't got the opportunity to check it out, please do so. It is Soledad Brother by George Jackson. I think it's one of the most inspiring and powerful books I ever read in my life, and it really like touched me deeply in several aspects of my life, you know, and because it's very personal, very intimate, very emotional book, but in a way, you know, it's narrating the whole experience of being a Black man imprisoned unjustly, and the way he politicized himself within jail. You know, it is a beautiful process, beautiful story based, you know, in the life of George Jackson, and you know, with Angela Davis in there as well as one of the characters in the, not a character as in fiction, you know, but like
right.
Yeah,
one of the no doubt.
Yeah. So it is really powerful.
No doubt, man. We're gonna have that. We're gonna put down all those names in the description, man. I wanna recommend today. I wanna recommend a history of Pan-African revolts, man, by C.L.R. James. I have it. This one right. This copy right here is in French, man. I actually have it in French, but it's a great book, man. Yeah, it's a great book by C.L.R. James. I think it's important for us to know, like I was saying, kind of the connection, the connections between all the struggles and how we, how we need to come together. And so I think that's a great one. But listen,
Absolutely.
man, before we go, man, I just want you to, share with the listeners a little bit, your social media, your websites, all of that, where they can find you, and any new projects that you're working on. I think your latest video, man, I saw it. It was dope. I think it's Pyrotechnia.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's my latest.
Yeah, that's really dope, man. I checked it out, and once again, I see you directed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your work, brother. It's really dope.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
And you recognize it right away, man. So definitely check it out, man. Check out Boca's on YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Also, you're also the track you did with Sal Rock, man. I'm a big time Sal Rock fan, man. I love her as an MC. So I thought that was a dope one too, man. And Veronica Ruiz. So that was dope, man.
Thank you so much, brother. That track came out like a year and a half or so, and very happy because I'm also I'm a fan of Sal Rock, and I'm also a friend of hers. And it came out very organically. We just toured in Mexico, like three cities together, like having this little concept together. So apparently we're gonna replicate it in some cities in the U.S.
That's
it's all love. Even when we're not speaking the same language. We are pushing like similar messages, similar agendas, similar interests.
That's what it's about. That's what hip hop, man. That's what hip hop is about, man. We don't have to speak the same language. We understand each other. You know what I mean? But yo, we need to get Sal Rock out to Cuba, man. Have a rock out there, man.
I was actually telling her
that would be amazing.
More than down. She's super down, man. We had a conversation about that.
That would be amazing.
She's super down. So we'll figure it out.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So listen, please share with the listeners a little bit where they can get in touch with you, where they can check you out, social media, websites, all that. And we're gonna write all that down in the description anyway. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. Just search for Bocafloja, one word all together, and search for the verified profiles in Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm in all music platforms and on YouTube as well. So just check me out. I have a bunch of material out there.
No doubt, man. No doubt, Boca, man. Thank you very much, my brother, for joining the Vital Hoops podcast, man.
It's all love, brother. Thank you so much for having me, and hope to see you soon, either in France or in Cuba or in the US or Mexico.
No doubt. We got to link up. We still got to work on that track together too, man. We got to make it happen.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for you. Just email me something.
I got you.
We'll go from there.
I got you, my brother. Much love and respect, man.
All right, family. Take care.
Peace. Thank you, man.
Peace.
All right. It's a wrap. Vital Hoops podcast, episode number 10, featuring Bocafloja. Listen, thank you to all the listeners, and thank you to all who have contributed. You can definitely get in touch with us. vitalhoopspodcast@gmail.com. Check us out at Vital Hoops Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, at Vital Hoops Pod on Twitter. Make sure you listen, you watch. You can watch on YouTube. You can listen on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Spotify. Make sure you share it, please. Share the podcast. That's how you can really help. And make sure you check out the brother Bocafloja. He's got a lot going on, man. Definitely check out his YouTube for his videos, his documentaries, and check out his websites. He got some dope merch over there too. Definitely support independent brothers doing it for the culture. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my brother DJ Ale representa. My brother Alexei, man, I met Bocafloja through him. He's my brother. He's our DJ at Guerrilla Republic Cuba. I've been working with him in Cuba for many years. I'm one of the dopest DJs in Cuban hip hop. And so shout out to DJ Ale, and shout out to Guerrilla Republic, all the brothers at Guerrilla Republic Cuba and Guerrilla Republic worldwide, man. Much respect. Right here, 1794. Check it out. Only the realest feel this. So this is it. Like I said, episode number 10. We got a lot of dope things coming up. We're gonna get specific into certain things real soon, for episode 11, matter of fact. And we're gonna keep building, man. That's it. Thank you very much. Vital Hoops is for the culture. We out. Peace.